it's Linda Cromar. I'm coming to you from my home office in Colorado, and today we're going to talk about how important it is to not only take action, but to take action with the right attitude. I'll have to tell you a story. There's been many times, and one in particular I remember. I had this lady, and I was in a health and wellness, weight loss type network marketing company, and she really just did not believe in the product. She didn't believe that it would help her, and she really didn't do it properly. She took the action, but she took it reluctantly, and therefore she truly did not get any results at all. Now, that you might be trying to say, well, that's because the products didn't work for her. But I've seen many people that have the right amount of belief system, and they also take the action as prescribed with all of the enthusiasm possible, and they do get results. So what does that mean to you? That means how you approach something. How you do the how-to actually matters. If you come across with an attitude of, I don't believe this, you're going to actually manifest the negative that you are projecting, regardless of the action that you are taking. Now, I know this sounds like voodoo, but I've seen it happen over and over again for both myself and others that I have brought into the system, whatever it is. And it doesn't matter what product or service or system or whatever that you are offering people. I have seen it happen over and over and over again. And the majority of the time, the person actually doesn't even take any action, not even a little bit. Most of the time, they will just just kind of go about the motions, maybe just try it a day or two and then give up on it right away. And so they're not consistent. You have to understand something. When you are going about trying to use a product and service and also offer it to others, you have to be in a position where you have a true belief for that product or service, or you're not going to come across the same way as I am right now. I mean, I'm not even offering you a service right now, but I am showing you my own belief and my own real belief, real knowledge, and real faith. Now, sometimes those things don't come before results. In fact, most of the time, those things do not come before results. And that's the hard part. Most people want to see results first. You see, the majority of the people that join any kind of company or product are usually have an employee attitude. In other words, they know that a certain amount of work creates a certain amount of pay. And you have to understand something. It's not about the hours. It's about how you apply those hours to what you're doing. And that's really also the case with employee situation. Now, a person that is at the lowest possible pay grade inside an employee situation, if that person doesn't ever apply any of their enthusiasm and desire to do a better job, and just gets by doing the very least amount that they can and finds ways to kind of cheat the system. In other words, maybe they're, excuse me, I've got a little glitch in my throat. Maybe they are spending their time on the internet, maybe even on Facebook or Netflix or somewhere like that, and they're burning their actual company time doing that. They're not really applying themselves to that business or product in the right attitude to gain anything more than that base paycheck. And they also are putting themselves in jeopardy of being fired because all they have to do is be on the wrong website when somebody of authority walks by. Well, the same thing happens in online marketing, whatever you're doing. The only problem is you don't have someone looking over your shoulder that's actually finding out where you really are. But it's going to be kind of obvious, really, not very long from that. I mean, I can go to somebody's profile and I can find out if they're truly following through with what I've told them to do because I'll see the action. if they aren't having conversations, if they aren't actually sharing the product, if they aren't actually doing something, then they're not going to get a result, are they? And that's the same for everyone and every product, no matter what it is, because the same principles always apply. If you are enthusiastic, even if you don't do it perfectly, you're going to have more results than somebody that will not come from the right position. So that lady that I told you about at the beginning, she eventually quit, and she actually put it back on me and made it that it was my fault. And I actually took that blame for a while. And she said I should be ashamed of myself for trying to convince her to get into the product and company that I was enthusiastic about. But you know what? That same product made me so thin, I was almost skeleton thin. Now, of course, you can overdo anything, and I don't recommend that you get to the point of skeleton thin. But really, the example is that I believed in it, and I used the product, and I got a result. And I believe that's true of everything. You know, when I go to buy something that I want to sell to other people, before I even tell you I have it, I go in and I find out about it. I go check it out. I get in there and I mess around with it. I find out how to use it. And then I start talking about it. That's how I sell. I make it easy for myself. I don't have to do a hard sell. I don't have to do a lot of convincing, because the first thing I do is I sell myself to it. I find out why I want it, and I find out why it's important to me. And then I have those things that I can talk about when it comes to telling others. And that is important. If you don't have that enthusiasm and that belief before you even start, you're not going to have very much choice but to fail. So it really does matter how you come about. You have to have the belief first before the results happen. And yeah, that sounds like it's harder to go around that point. But before you have your own personal results, do you have other people you can see that have had results? And almost always there is someone that has done really well with the product or service that you are interested in selling. And that is the person that you can talk about before you have your own personal results. And it doesn't matter if you haven't made any money yet. What matters is, has someone made money at it? Tell their story. That's how you actually build a business online these days, because stories do sell. It doesn't matter if you know all of the details about whatever it is you're selling. It does matter that you have the enthusiasm and you have stories to tell. And before you need to tell your own story, make sure you have a collection of others that have good result stories to tell. And it doesn't matter whether it is an online system like what I like to share, or whether it's a health and wellness product that someone wants to share. It only matters that you believe in what you're sharing, and you believe in it enough that your enthusiasm comes right through and people get excited just from the tone of your voice. And you can even hear it in mine, even though I'm not talking about a particular product right now, because you want to have that same enthusiasm with everything you do. If you don't have enthusiasm, belief, and faith, and a few stories that you can tell, whether they're yours or someone else's, then you don't have the tools you need to market, because there's no amount of convincing if you don't believe in it yourself. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if, as always, I love it when you share. And I'll be getting back with you again later. Bye for now.